So there were a range of topics that were discussed, and the key takeaways, like Radhika was mentioning, is enhancing the bilateral relationships between the two nations, saying that this is a new high when it comes to the bilateral relationships with two Indian consulates that have opened in the United Kingdom, including in Manchester. Let's get you all the details of that very crucial meeting that took place in the United Kingdom.
London's Chatham House, right there, is an independent public policy think tank, one which over the last 100 years has pioneered in conducting conversations of rather disruptive nature on international politics. Today's conversation with Dr. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister of India, was rather one to gauge India's ambition at a time it has growth aspirations, one which are expanding vis-a-vis trade and business, of how the UK and the US fits in.
And if I were to look at some of the big priorities of this president, many of them actually work for us. He seems to be, for example, committed to keeping energy prices reasonably affordable and stable. We welcome that. He is putting a lot of emphasis on tech, on the development of tech, on the use of tech as a game changer in global politics. I think that offers a lot of possibilities, for us.
To a pointed question on whether tariffs could be slashed for car makers.
As I said, we have an understanding that we would be negotiating a bilateral trade agreement with the United States. So that process would unfold. Our trade minister is there holding discussions right now. So one has to see where that goes.
In London's Chatham House, an independent policy think tank, Dr. Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, was in conversation with former journalist and director at this particular think tank. Trade, growth and economy was the focus of his conversation. Starting off the conversation, he set the tone by saying that Donald Trump, US President's priorities are ones which suit India on two particular aspects, that energy is one that is trying to be made reasonable, which suits India, and of course the focus on technology is one again which he termed as a game changer.
To accelerate this, I got a clear message. I also met Secretary Reynolds. So I think from Prime Minister Starmer, from Foreign Secretary Lamy, from Secretary Reynolds, I got a consistent message from all of them that the British side is also interested in moving it forward. We had a round last month in February in Delhi when Secretary Reynolds was there. We remain in touch. I had a few points to convey on behalf of my concerned colleagues as well. So I am cautiously optimistic that it will, the pace will quicken. Hard to say when it would come to head, but I certainly, would hope that it doesn't take that long.
Dr. Jaishankar is in the UK for a 6-day trip and will be inaugurating 2 new consulates in Manchester and Belfast. Radhika Iyer for NDTV.